special tribute to Brian.
Hi. So, Brian, yes, we can be very, very sad, but he was 86 years old, and his life was the river. And if I think of his name, I think of just the happy times we had. Some of you don't know how he became a champs coach. I don't really know his background when he actually started to coach me. He started coaching me when I did the lightweights at CUW, and I'm little, and I wanted to, once you finish squad, I did a postmasters, and once you finish squad it's quite hard to be in the eights, and champs back in 2003, 2004 wasn't a very big club, so sculling was the way forward. And I asked this person in this club, that person in that club, would they actually help me to scull, and people just looked behind and said, you? Okay, you don't have to dismiss me. I was the person going up in a dinghy, up and down the river, trying to work out how to scull, like many of you have done. And then I sort of saw Brian, and he sort of said, well, yeah, and I remember asking him, I said, Brian, I really want to learn to scull, and I know you know something about it. And at the time, his wife was dying, and he used to sit hand in hand and just nurse her all through the day, and we'd have a window of a half an hour or an hour, and then he'd take me out. And he taught me to scull, which was an amazing journey, because from actually sculling, this little person, we had a squad to begin with. It was Chris Owens, Ben, myself and Linda. And there were certain people who were the elite scullers, lady scullers on the river, and they just used to look at us. Well, it was pretty basic. We went out most days. We were the people out on Christmas Day. It was so funny. We were the first out on Christmas Day, and we both went back home with a smile, because you know what? Brian was most probably preparing his Sunday lunch. And if ever you'd been with him, the number of days I turned up down the river and I was in this whatever mood, and he'd tell me, I've got these lovely carrots, and you know what, I've got a nice piece of chicken, and I'm going to do this really good sauce. And they were the simple things, but they meant so much. And I think in life, and the challenges that we have, we just forget about these things. So not only was he a special person who sort of took this little person who really didn't have a right to be in a scull, and certainly not to be competitive, we went on, and Linda and I had the most amazing time. We won Henley Specs. We were unbeaten for 2 years, and we actually beat a very famous sculler in Cambridge, and instead of actually saying well done, she turned around. So we went to the Nat Champs, we won at the Nat Champs. We've got so many medals, and every outing Brian was there. His voice is still down the river, and unfortunately I've had the pleasure of going back in my scull, and it's pretty lonely without him on the river, because I never used to go sculling, because whatever outing I had, he'd be there. And I'm sure some of you also had that. He'd always be there. He was so reliable. So anyway, we went along, and Linda got pregnant, had kids, so I didn't have a partner. And then, well, yeah, I haven't got a World Championship medal. So this little person goes off to Vienna, rowing with somebody who is a superstar. And actually, we went out and we won gold. So this person who didn't even think of that I could scull, I got a gold medal. And actually, that's when I actually gave up rowing in many ways, because it was just amazing. And you know, Brian was there. Brian didn't actually come to Vienna, but you know, he was the gold medal that we had. And then that's when he started saying, well, I said, Brian, well, actually, I'm going back to my other sport because I can't do better than that. And that's when he started going to the Champs. And by then, the Champs was a bigger club. And so many of you have learned so many special things. And I hope you know how to get your legs down. Yeah? And Brian would never, ever miss the bumps. And it's appropriate. For whatever reason, I was at Addenbrooke's on Wednesday. Tuesday. I was able to pop in. Tuesday? Well, whatever day. And, you know, it was really special. And he smiled, and he said, tell them to get their legs down. And I said, you know what, if they get a good start and they get their legs down, they'll do something. So, just a tribute, we would have silence, but he wasn't a man for silence. No, he loved to chat, and he loved to do so many special things. So we're going to have a nice 30 seconds of clapping, and then we want 10 legs, legs, legs. Because if ever you row, if you get your legs down, you'll be a better rower. Okay, so a tribute to Mr. Brian, the man of the river.
Let